Hello, joining me now is Gianna Aquilina, an Emmy-nominated and Chicago-based cinematographer. Hi, Gianna. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Can we give the viewers just a little more background on you? What brought you to Chicago, and how did you get started in the film industry here?
Of course. So I'm originally from San Diego. I came to Chicago to study film at Columbia College. I've always been interested in the film industry, and once I graduated, I loved Chicago so much I stuck around.
Nice. And how would you describe the film industry in Chicago? What's it like here? What kind of projects do you see, happening in the city?
I gotta say Chicago is very much up and coming. I would say compared to other industries like LA or New York, it's very much so a family here. Once you're in the industry, you're hardworking and you've got a good attitude. Your name gets passed around and everyone's just so great. It's very much so like joining a family.
Nice. And you have a new movie coming out that you were director of photography on. I believe we have a clip to share.
Your wealth, prosperity. The secret to solving our problems is that we need white people money. I should send a text message to that number. This is Kareem Malik Johnson. Y'all not playing with me, right? Baby, yes, we are billionaires!
And can you tell me a little bit about the movie?
Yeah, so the movie is called White People Money. It's a feature that was shot here in Chicago with director Mark Harris. It's a comedy. It's about some people winning a large amount of money and then kind of seeing the repercussions and the actions of their friends and how they react to that.
Nice. And how did you get involved with the project?
So I worked with Mark Harris, the director, a few years ago. We shot this 2 years ago and a year before. So 3 years ago, I worked as a gaffer on one of his features and we just hit it off. I really loved Mark and he really took a liking to me and he asked me to shoot his next movie and it was great. He really entrusted me. I was only 23 at the time and it was my first feature ever. And it was a great experience. So
that being your first feature, that's really amazing. What made that experience so special for you?
Yeah, I gotta say, again, it all comes back to Chicago being such a family-like community. We shot it in a crazy amount of time. It was 5 days for an 80-minute screen time. That is just unheard of. But Mark, again, really entrusted me. I got to have a bunch of my friends and people who I love on the set. And, working with great people and everyone working together, having a great attitude, it really made the process smooth. And I think we had a really beautiful product at the end. So
5 days, is that the fastest you've ever shot a feature?
It is the fastest I almost want to say anyone has ever shot a feature. That's insane.
And how did you feel when the film was released and you got to see, your work on really major streaming platforms for the first time?
Yeah, it was really an incredible experience. So it's in its 4th week in theaters now, and I just saw it the other day, and it was amazing. Seeing something that you shot and took so much time for, and 2 years in post, being in the audience and hearing the actions and hearing people laugh, and it was really an amazing experience.
Are there any elements of the film that you are especially proud of, either your own work or just something in the film that you really loved?
Yeah, so honestly, again, being the cinematographer, I was in charge of all the aesthetics and the angles and the lighting and the framing. And I got to say, with 5 days, there comes a lot of prep that's involved in that. And I think the execution that we were able to pull off in that amount of time was honestly amazing. So really proud of that.
Cool. Are you working on anything else in this upcoming year? Anything that you're, really excited about?
Yeah, so I can't release any names right now, but I can say there's 2 other features that I'm working on this year. And last year in December, we shot a movie that's going to come out this December. So hopefully you guys will see that on the big screen coming up soon too.
Cool. And I know that, COVID-19 hit a lot of industries really hard, but especially the entertainment industry. How are you feeling about, your industry when it began shutting down and sets began shutting down? What was that like?
Of course, I have to say the entertainment industry for sure got hit hard. I'm sure you have experience with it too, but Chicago's amazing. We're a city that was built on rebuilding. And I think we really took that to heart, especially when the pandemic came. And, we took some time to regroup, figure out how are we going to keep doing this, and added a few more friends on set, had a few COVID officers, making sure everyone felt safe. And continued shooting. So
Did
we
you,
pulled through.
Yeah. Working on sets, did you feel safe when you were on these sets? Did you have any kind of struggles with, showing up, being around a lot of people?
I got my mask here on set right now. No, I think Chicago really took to heart making sure everyone felt safe. We always have a COVID officer on set, and the protocols are really put into place. And no, I felt great. So I have to thank Chicago for that, for sure.
And what was it like finding work during the pandemic? Did you find that there were more opportunities as time went on, or was it really a struggle to find, film projects?
I would say when the pandemic first hit, everyone had to take a step back, I think, and take a breather and say, okay, how are we going to do this safely? And I was very blessed to be working with a few production companies at the time that really had work step in. And I think a lot of people changed their game to shoot more live streaming events. And I was really blessed to have some people that were still very productive during it. So I think now everyone is starting to feel a little busy again, which is a good thing.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what the collaboration is like in COVID? How easy is it to work with other filmmakers on set and, really kind of come together as a team?
Yeah, I think a lot of people realize that a lot of the pre-production stuff we can do over Zoom. Meetings can definitely be held in many different forms nowadays, and COVID gave us a really good perspective on that. And also just having stories be told on such a smaller scale. Skeleton crews are normally something that we do when it's necessary, and I think this was a necessary time to have a lot more of those. So it taught us a lot about what can be done on a really small scale.
The film industry is such a unique industry to be doing things virtually. Do you see yourself working on Zoom again in the future? Do you think virtual stuff will continue in the entertainment industry?
Oh, absolutely. I think already people are realizing, state to state, you can shoot anything from anywhere. You just got to be there on the day. But in terms of prep and even post, we can do anything virtual. So I think it's honestly brought a lot to the film industry, seeing what we can do from our computers.
Great. So how can people reach you, and what are the next steps for your career going forward?
Yeah, so anyone can reach me on my social medias. It's just my Instagram at dp_Gigi, Gigi, or you can reach out on my website, which is GiannaAquilina.com.
And do you have any advice for people who want to make their own short film or get involved in the film industry here in Chicago?
Of course. All you gotta do, be a hard worker. I'm sure you're already talented, and come with a good attitude and you'll get far.
How did you, did anyone give you your first start in the film industry? How did you jump into it?
I went to Columbia College, and I think they really gave me a lot of opportunities with the people that I met there. And I've got to thank Mark Harris, the director that I worked with. He truly entrusted me with that feature. And I gotta say, big shout out, thank you to Mark for giving me that opportunity.
Do you have any other inspirations in the field? Anyone that you really look up to? Anyone here in Chicago or even just nationally?
Oh yeah, there's a ton of great production companies here, and a ton of people that are just really looking out for you. I could give a whole list of names and they could go on, but honestly, again, it comes back to the attitude in Chicago of, you're a family here, and once you enter the industry, people are going to look out for you. And
have you seen any movies recently?
I've got your back.
Have you seen any movies recently that you're excited about now that film is coming back?
Oh yeah, there's so many, especially during the award season, that I was like, I have to get back into it. I really want to see Minari. I really want to see a bunch of films by A24. I'm a big fan of that production company, so I've got to catch up. And I think as well, the TV industry has been doing great during COVID, and a lot more people are understanding streaming. And yeah.
Well, thank you, Gianna, so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Her movie, White People Money, is available for rent now on Amazon Prime and Apple TV. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm Amelia Burns. Have a great night.